My name is Michelle D. Clark with Lift Life Coaching Solutions, where we are living inspired, free, and transformed. I am super duper excited today because I have someone with me who is fresh off the stage with the Leadership Experience Tour April 2021 with the Sean Fair Consulting Group. And so without further ado, I want to introduce to some and welcome to others. We have Mrs. Kizzy McCray-Sheppard. Okay, I know if we get that McCray in there.
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much, Michelle, for having me.
Oh, absolutely. I'm ecstatic about it. So I want to know a little bit. First of all, tell the people a little bit of touch on, because we don't want you to go through the whole speech again, because see, they're going to have to wait and see that on the on stage, right?
Yes,
on the on
yes,
stage plus,
yes.
all right? But just give them a little snippet about, I guess, your backstory and a little bit what you talked about on the stage today.
So I'm Kizzy McCray-Sheppard, as you've heard Michelle mention. I am the Limitless Thought Leader and founder of Limitless Possibilities Now. This is a platform where I help individuals to discover who they are, their dreams, and help them to build a roadmap on how to accomplish those dreams. And I also, when I am doing that, I develop a plan that includes self-care. So today, when I was on stage, I was speaking about an event that I had where I almost lost my life.
Yes.
And it was contributed to a lack of self-care. Yes, those things were taking place in my body, but if I was taking care of me,
yes,
and not neglecting myself at the time, then it would not have been so horrific or so traumatic for me and my family. So that's pretty much what I do, and want to help others and stir them to let them know that when you don't focus on you,
yes,
that the results can be life-changing. And self-care is more than just a spa day, ladies. We all think if we go to the spa, have a nice massage or
right,
facial,
hair done, nails
done, yeah, that's self-care. It's so much larger. It's on a whole nother aspect than what we limit it to.
Yes.
So.
And the first thing I was thinking about, Kizzy, is that, when you are on a plane, the first thing they say is, put your mask on first.
Yes.
Put your mask on first. And so in order to take care of others properly, we have to take care of ourselves.
Yes. And that was part of my problem. So often I was busy taking care of others. I've always been naturally a nurturer and a caregiver. So, as my profession, as one, being a nurse practitioner, I've always helped and took care of others.
Yes.
So it came naturally for me to do that.
Absolutely.
So I give in the community, and I do for others in the community. Someone calls me and say they need, it's like Kizzy to the rescue, like the superheroes back in the day.
Yes.
Like I can fix everything. Yeah, dun 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 dun. Kizzy's on the scene, and I'm there helping. But when you're not taking care of yourself,
that's right,
and your glass is half full,
come on. Yes,
you're at a point where you can't pour out of a half full glass. So I was there. So I was pouring out of that half full glass, and I was taking myself from half full to empty.
Yes, yes.
And so often we're afraid of knowing what it feels like to be empty sometimes, but we're also afraid of knowing what it feels like to be full sometimes.
That's true.
Because when you're half full all the time, being full or being empty is uncomfortable.
That's right.
So I was okay with being half full. But then when I continued to deplete myself and I was empty, it was uncomfortable, and I didn't know how to get myself back. I continued to try to give, till I couldn't give anymore.
So how did you pivot? How were you able to make that change? Because I know there's a lot of ladies, and I say ladies because I am exclusively working with ladies, women with my company. But and I also say about women because we're like nurturers,
naturally, right?
By nature, right?
Nature, yeah.
And so we're so used to just giving. And so I know there's so many people out there right now that's wondering, what? That's me too.
Right.
Help me. How can I change? How can I pivot? So what did you do?
So what caused me to pivot was when I almost lost my life, and I knew that I couldn't do anything about it.
Yes.
And as I am laying there in this bed in the trauma bay, and I am fainting, literally fainting out, and I can't say and I can't speak for myself, and I try, and then I'm serious. I know my life is flashing before me.
Yes.
When I came from that point, I pivoted. There were many times in my life that I should have pivoted when God was showing me signs, but I didn't.
Yes.
I didn't respond. I didn't react. I didn't listen. And so it took that to me to be facing death for me to pivot. And I don't want to see anyone else to be at that point.
That's right.
Because I can literally see myself looking at my husband, and I can see the fear in his eyes. And nothing could be done. He couldn't do anything. I couldn't do anything. And I would come to, and then I would and fade out, literally. And I would, like, as if I was fighting. I was, when that fight or flight, when you give everything to come back, it was like I was giving everything to come back, and I'll come back. And I look, and then all of a sudden, and I go back out. So it took me to be facing that for me to pivot. It took me being rushed into an operation room to pivot. It took me seeing myself vomit blood.
My word. To
pivot. It took me facing the fear of my family being without me, my son not being able to talk to his mom, we're very close, and not to be able to commune with me. It took that fear of the unknown of how would my husband even go on if I wasn't here. I know those things we say to death do us part, but sometimes I feel like we can rush our own destiny.
Yes, we can.
Because God was giving me the signs and I wasn't listening.
That's right.
But by His grace.
But God.
Whew.
But God. And so there was so many things that was rushing through my mind when I was listening to you, because it was so eventful, and I'm like getting emotionally charged, because I know that there's so many times that we do ignore those warning signs, and they're like speed bumps in the road.
Right.
Right. And it's meant for us to slow down. And sometimes it's like those strips that the police officers put down to make you stop.
Right.
And we still keep going with a flat tire.
Mm-hmm.
You're
right.
And so I know one thing I like to tell my ladies is don't wait until the last straw. Don't wait until the last straw before you make that movement. And unfortunately, a lot of times it takes that last straw for us to make that pivot. But I'm so happy and grateful that you were able to pivot, and by the grace of God that you're here with us today, because you have a very, very powerful story. And I hope you all are really, really listening. Sometimes we listen to a powerful story and we may say something like, well, that's their story. It's not going to happen to me, or that's a good story. But it literally is something that I like to call life lessons. See, you can have a life lesson by either experiencing it yourself or listening to someone else. So I don't know about you, but if I was walking down the street and there was a big pothole and there was a person walking in front of me, no disrespect to the person in front of me, but I prefer to learn about that pothole by them falling in.
I agree.
And me falling in.
I
Again,
agree.
no disrespect to that person, but if we had to choose A or B, I don't really want to fall in the hole. So I'm just saying that if someone is already going to fall in and they're telling you, hey, there's a hole, don't go and follow in their footsteps. So you hear Ms. Kizzy right now, she's telling you all to pivot before you hit rock bottom. Pivot before you see that light. I'm talking about that light when your life is coming out of you and you're seeing that light coming down. So don't wait until that point. So is there anything, and I hope I didn't steal what your life lesson is.
What you said is absolutely great, and the profound thing for me, and I'm listening to you, was, you said don't, not to when you have that light, when your life is,
That's right.
literally draining, you're being drained, right? The thing about it for me that was so profound is that for me, being a nurse practitioner, I knew better. Mm-hmm. I knew how important it was for me to take care of me.
Yep.
I mean, I talked to families and caregivers who, and talked to them about taking care of them. I said, hey, you can't do for your loved one if you're not doing for you. I do that. I have those lectures.
That's right.
And I was giving the advice, but I wasn't receiving the same exact advice that I give to my patients or their family members, all their loved ones. So that was the thing. It wasn't that I didn't know. I knew better.
Yes.
But I didn't do better.
Yes.
So it's crazy, like you said, how things have to happen sometimes.
Yes.
Because we're so headstrong.
Yes.
And as women, that's natural. We're headstrong because we feel that we always have to be the ones to do it.
Be the burden bearer.
You're right. but someone else, can help us carry that burden. So sometimes we have to lean on our sister friends, as
Yes.
we say, or, our spouses. We have to learn that we need to give a little. And sometimes people don't mind. And that had to happen. My husband's like, you just always wanted to do those things. But he helps carry the load more now.
Good.
So I had to release, though.
Yes.
That's the key.
Yeah.
The
It's like tug of war. It's kind of hard for somebody to help you if you're not letting go. Right?
He's pulling me this way and I'm pulling this way.
Right.
And it's like.
And it's tearing you apart.
Right.
In the midst.
So now I'm like, I can give a little. We share a little bit more of the responsibilities instead of me trying to, I got it.
Mm-hmm. The key word that came to my mind was delegate.
Right. Right.
Delegate.
And stop being superwoman, because that's what we all try to do, is be superwomen.
That's right.
So yeah.
Yeah. And then there's nothing, matter of fact, I'm going to flip the tortilla. I was going to say there's nothing wrong with needing help or asking for help.
Right.
But on the flip side, there's strength in asking for help.
It is. You know what? And I have a book coming out soon, and I actually talk about how it is okay to say you need help.
That's right.
But I had to go through what I went through to know that it is really truly okay for me to say I need help.
That's right. Yes.
But you're right.
Yeah.
And then I think sometimes it goes back to, this is me, I think it goes back to our ancestral period. I think I shared that earlier, that we think that we have to be strong all the time.
Yes.
But there's power in weakness.
Yes, it is.
Because God tells us that his strength is made perfect in weakness. Can you imagine him carrying that power, carrying that for us?
Yes.
Just lay your burdens on me.
That's
Baby
it.
girl, I got you. You are mine.
That's right.
So.
Yes. So you mentioned your book. So do you have a title for the book yet? I know you said it's coming out.
It will
we
be
have a release date?
out. The release date is going to be in the near future. It's going to be in October 16th.
Okay.
But the title of the book is Trusting God's Process, and it's just covering different aspects in life to help shape and mold me and others.
Yes.
To trust God, to know that there's a lesson and a blessing in everything.
Yes.
It's not always meant to be a curse to you. It's meant to be a blessing. It's like the yin and the yang, right?
Yes.
You can flip, like you said, you can flip the coin.
That's right.
So God is allowing us to flip the coin.
Absolutely.
So we just got to trust him. And I look back over my life, and there's a lot of times in my life I've trusted him. So I didn't always trust him. And when I did say yes, I didn't always know, the outcome of my yes, or the outcome of him telling me to do something. And I just, but the latter is always greater.
Yes, it is. Yes,
So
it is.
I'm just thankful, and I'm just going full speed ahead, listening at everything that God tells me to do. And I wanna serve. I wanna help others. I want to be a blessing to others.
That's
it's about
exactly what I was thinking. Yes.
Changing my community, one person at a time, changing the trajectory for another young lady, and which I've done that along this journey. Mm-hmm. But during this time, I just wasn't taking care of me.
Yes.
So
and last segment, I got a chance to interview with Mrs. Robin Wilson, and I got to be a fly on the wall in here earlier today. While Miss Kizzy and Ms. Robin were talking, and the connection that they had, where they were reaching back and helping each other. I could see it, and it was the first thing that came to mind was it was like a tug of war, but in a good way, because you saw, I guess it's like reciprocity. You saw the give and take. You saw the flow. The energy was so powerful in here that I so wish that you guys could have had that bird's eye view. But I stayed quiet. Y'all know how hard that is for me. I stayed quiet.
You did, and I was waiting on you to chime in too. I said she gonna chime in. She just extracting right now. I get you. You got to be able to like a sponge sometime, don't you?
Yes. See, that's why God gave us 2 ears and 1 mouth.
Yes,
sometimes
Lord.
You have to listen. And it was just so much richness, so much goodness happening, and I didn't want to interrupt the flow. Sometimes it's just best to just watch and be an observer, because I learned so much. One of the things I learned is that I didn't know so many women at our young age had strokes. I've had 2 strokes. I didn't share at that time. I just basically glossed upon because I wanted to hear their side. But it was so much that was you guys know my story where I wasn't able to talk. My whole right side, I couldn't use it, and then within that 48-hour window, it all came back. And so, but God. Mm-hmm. And so, but again, there were warning signs. I was under a lot of stress, and I just kept going because, again, we feel like we have to keep doing. Right. When there are support systems around us, if it's not, if somebody might be in the audience saying, yeah, okay, well, I don't have no family like that. But, in my own state, outside of my sister when she moved up here, I didn't have anybody here, but I had to create a community for myself. So I joined a church. So now I have a church family. I have a caregiver for my son. She's a part of our family now. And now we're part of the Sean Fair Consulting Group family.
Yes.
So you have to build your own community. People who want to see you succeed, and not only want to see you succeed, but have the ability to help you to succeed. Because if you're just around a bunch of broke folks, and I ain't saying nothing wrong with broke folks, but you have to have something. When I say broke, it's not even about monetary. Because yes, impoverished mindset is more dangerous than a broke pocket. So, yes. I'm saying that, people who don't have anything to give but always looking to take, you can't hang around broke folks because, again, they have nothing to give. You have to get around people who are like-minded that's going to help us to grow together. Yes. So we grow up, we blow up. Hey. Yes. That sounds like a book title. Yes, it does. We got to do that anthology together. Yes. So I am just totally excited. And so before you go, though, because I know that I know you have to head on out of here. Yes. But before you go, I just want you to give us a snippet, maybe about a minute, of what it felt like to be a part of this fold, this family with the Sean Fair Consulting Group and the Leadership Experience Tour.
It has been absolutely amazing. God truly blessed me when He connected me to the Sean Fair Consulting Group. Sean pours so much into you. He's honest. He wants the best for you. So many times I've connected before because I believe in investing in myself. Yes. Because if you invest in yourself, you can bet on yourself. The return of interest, you may not be able to bet on somebody else that you invest in, but you know what you're going to do. Right. But so many times I've done that and I felt like I didn't get everything that I need. But with Sean Fair, I feel like I've gotten more than I need. And I've made a connection. It feels like a big brother. Yes. Like I'm not going anywhere, Kizzy. He says, you need me. I said, and I'm not going anywhere either, Sean. So it lets me know, I want the best for you because I want the best for me.
That's right.
And so He's going to help you as long as you're willing to help yourself. So for me, it just helped me. He helped to shape me. He helped to mold me. I can look at where I started and when I was a little hesitant because I was like, well, Sean, I don't know. And he was like, no, you got it. You got this, Kizzy. Now we're going to meet again on this day. He keeps pouring into you. And, yes. And I really, truly appreciate him. I appreciate him giving me the opportunity. I appreciate his love, his respect. I appreciate Ray, the coaches that he has. Yes. Because that they truly care.
That's right.
And my husband even says, I'm so glad you connected with Sean Fair in Consulting. So I just feel blessed. Yes. It's rare that you find a jewel, but I feel that I found a jewel. Yes. When I connected with the Sean Fair Consulting Group. And thanks to Dr. B, because I met her through Black Nurses Rock, and she connected me
right.
to Sean Fair. And so it's just been a blessing all around.
Yes,
and I feel like I came together when I connected with each of you all.
Yes.
And now I feel like a family. Like all of us want to see each other win.
Yes.
It's not pulling somebody else down or tearing them down or being envious or jealous. All of us are happy for the other person's success.
Yes.
So that I think that the Sean Fair Group, Consulting Group, is not just a group. It's like you said, it's a family.
It is a family. It's sure enough family.
Right. And I'm saying, I ain't going nowhere. You ain't going nowhere.
I'm not going anywhere.
All the rest of us, we're not going anywhere.
No.
We're growing together.
That's right.
Yes.
Grow up to blow up.
Yes.